catcher Mark McKinney, and on the play, Joe Ryan moves up 90 feet down to third base. Hardoby with a 1-2 count now facing him has the situation made a little bit easier in terms of driving home a run. Sac fly will do just that. We'll see now, Steve, if Wooster decides to bring their infield in. Now with a 1-2 count of Hardoby and down 4 runs in this game, Wooster will do just that.
They really have no choice. Can't afford to fall behind 5-0 at this point.
Exactly. Infield in at all 4 positions. The 1-2 by Hardoby swung on. Bouncer off the glove of Donatelli. Runner holds at third. Hardoby will make it to first base on the infield single. A little surprised to see Joe Ryan stay at third. There you see him talking to
number 8,
Crehan.
second baseman, Joe Pass.
No damage done for Allegheny. Instead, they'll have runners at the corners with 1 out here in the 5th inning.
I'm sure Ryan stayed at third on Coach Crehan's direct orders. I mean, as you saw on Ryan's stolen base, he's not the fastest player in the Allegheny lineup. Crehan opting to hold him there in case the second baseman or the shortstop charging in was able to pick up that ball quickly. Crehan not wanting to waste the runner on third base with just 1 out.
Seeing more activity down the right field line, left field line. Person of Wooster personnel getting set to warm up. And there's a toss to first. They have a man picked off. Double steal is faked, and in the process, Chuck Hardoby steals second base.
Here we are, Joe.
So another mental lapse on the part of Wooster, this in the form of Chris Singolani, holding on to the baseball instead of A, trying to get Hardoby in a rundown, and B, trying to induce Joe Ryan to attempt to steal home.
I'm sure it's exactly what Rick Crehan had in mind, was for them to get Hardoby in a rundown, then he could send Ryan for home plate. As we had touched on before, that's something that Rick Crehan loves to do, is send that runner on first, hope that they will get caught up in making the out at second base, and then he can send that runner from third for the double steal. It happens many, many times throughout this season for Allegheny.
Tim Petterini now out to the hill to talk to freshman Nick Donatelli, as well as the rest of the Wooster infield. Scots have been plagued by 2 errors in this contest and numerous other mental faux pas. And right now, Joe Pass is at the plate with runners at second and third. Wooster, a moment ago, had the entire infield in. Let's see if they like to do the same thing this time without the benefit of having a force at any base. That is, of course, unless they decide to walk Joe Pass in this instance, which with 1 out is a possibility, but down to 4 runs, I highly doubt that will happen. Steve, the infield is drawn in at all 4 areas. There you see Joe Ryan at third. Donatelli gets his sign from Mark McKinney.
Joe Pass, a great contact hitter, has struck out just 1 time in 82 at-bats this year.
And there is a called strike to Pass, starting him off at 0-1. Wooster bench not only unable to do anything offensively today, plagued by shoddy defense. Rick Crehan giving the signs. Club in front 4-0. Bottom of the 5th, 1 out. Runners at second and third for second baseman Joe Pass. 0-1 pitch. Pitch out, throw down to third, and back ahead of the tag is Joe Ryan. That time Wooster thought something might be coming, maybe in the form of a squeeze bunt, or at least somewhat starting the runners, which is very unlikely. Pass today, 1 of 2, singled in the 4th and scored a run. Gonna fake to third, and Ryan back without a problem. Here's the 5'11" junior Joe Pass. Looking at a 1-1 count. Teammates at second and third. There's the ball outside, 2-1. Brief pitch here, Steve. Pass is becoming more and more comfortable because the situation is that more advantageous to him at the plate. 2-1 the count. Runners are coming, the squeeze is on, and the bunt is bunted foul. So Coach Crehan, with the situation in his favor, decided to put something on in that play. Had Ryan charging from third, Hardoby moving from second. The pass unable to execute the squeeze bunt. He stays alive at 2-2.
Pass obviously disappointed himself in not being able to lay down that bunt, but it was a tough pitch to handle, an off-speed pitcher with a breaking ball or a curve. Just couldn't get the full bat on it.
2-2 Donatelli pitch, inside, ball 3. So a money pitch right now for Nick Donatelli. And with Craig Malagise awaiting on deck, this could possibly be Donatelli's last pitch of the afternoon. That's a stretch, but let's see what happens. Pass the 3-2 on its way. Bouncer to second. Runners hold. And the throw to first base retires Joe Pass for the second out of the inning. All of a sudden, Steve, this is developing just the way Wooster would like it. As on Hardoby's infield grounder, Ryan unable or unwilling to take a shot at scoring off the ricochet off Donatelli's glove. It did not cause an out, but right now, Ryan's still at third base, I should say, with now 2 outs. And Craig Malagise at the plate takes a ball outside. Malagise has reached base twice in this game. He doubled in the 3rd inning, walked in the 4th. He scored both times. 4-0 Allegheny's lead. There's a fake toss to second. Gators with runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2 outs, 5th inning. Wooster pitcher Nick Donatelli basically been in trouble ever since the 2nd inning. It's a called strike to even the count at 1-1 now for Craig Malagise. 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Sun has kind of escaped us here. Still a very nice and accommodating afternoon. Wooster with the luxury of playing their infield back. 2-1 the count to Malagise. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. That pitch is up high at 3-1.
Just as we've seen Allegheny's Chris Nelson get ahead in the counts, Donatelli now consistently falling behind in his counts. He's worked himself out of a couple jams already this inning, but now got one more to go overcome.
Well, it's either a walk or you have to come in right now to Craig Malagise. A 3-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back, and again, we'll go full at 3-2. Greg Reinhart would be next. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Allegheny 4, Wooster nothing. But the Gators a chance to possibly open this one up. Malagise at the plate with a full count. Freshman Nick Donatelli gets his sign. Pitch on the way. That ball is swung on, a grounder foul at 3rd base. So we'll start it up all over again. Wooster continuing their tossing down the left field line. You can barely see it there in your picture. With a good view of Joe Ryan leading off 3rd. Bird dogging at 2nd. The 3-2 pitch is fouled back. And again, the count remains full. Craig Malagise, the 6'2" sophomore right fielder. Full count. Donatelli on his way. Outside, ball 4. So Craig Malagise doing a nice job of working the count. Gets the free pass to load the bases of Gators. The catcher, Greg Reinhart. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning.
The catcher, Greg Reinhart.
He now comes up with a golden opportunity to break this one open. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 5th inning. Gators 4, Wooster nothing. Donatelli still pitching from the stretch with the Deuces sack. And there's a called strike. 0-1 the count to 6-foot sophomore Greg Reinhart. Catcher with only 4 RBIs on the season, but sends that one into center field. It's going to drop base hit. 1 in, 2 in, runner going to third, and Allegheny now holds a 6-0 advantage over Wooster. Timely piece of 2-out hitting by Greg Reinhart, opening the floodgates for 2 more. And the Gators cushion their lead to 6-0 with their 7th base hit.
Oh, Greg Reinhart is not the guy you would look to in Allegheny to produce offensively. He's not the guy the other team is going to be scared of. But all weekend long, this has been Greg Reinhart's weekend. As we said, a 3-run home run in the first game yesterday, 2-run home run in the second game yesterday. Today he comes up with a bases-loaded single to break this game wide open. That gives him 7 RBIs on the weekend.
This is leadoff hitter Mike Penn, who knocked in 2 his last trip to the plate. Reinhardt's going. Double steal, runner coming home. He's going to be safe. Well, Steve, you've been waiting for that all afternoon, and we finally see it. Craig Malagise on the back end of a double steal, steals home. As Greg Reinhardt left first base, heading towards second. Stopped midway through. Mark McKinney went through with the throw. And in the process, the throw home from Jim Warga back to McKinney, not in time to get Craig Malagise, who scores the 7th Allegheny run. So RBIs today, 2 from Vastola, Penn, and Reinhart, and now a steal home by Craig Malagise. 7-0 Gators. Penn takes ball 1 outside. Actually, that is ball 2 after the steal home.
You can see on that play the confidence that Mark McKinney, the catcher for Wooster, has in his arm. He figured he could throw out Greg Reinhart at second base, but it backfired.
2-0 pitch is popped out of play and foul. All but 2 of the Gators' 7 runs have come with 2 outs this afternoon. That's a sign of a winning ball club. And Nick Donatelli, who has not pitched all that poorly for Wooster, just unable to get any breaks today. 2-1 the count to Penn. Pitch on the way is outside, 3-1. Said it a few batters ago, Steve, but if Penn gets on, I have to think that Tim Petterini is going to give the hook to freshman Nick Donatelli. Wait and see what happens here with the 3-1 pitch. Runner at second, 2 gone, and that ball is way outside for ball 4. So the Gators still with 2 outs. The runners at first and second for left fielder Joe Gaeta. Still no move made by Wooster. There was a signal down from the left field line that a pitcher was ready. And right now, Donatelli staying in. His first pitch to Gaeta is in there for a called strike. I'll tell you, Steve, a minute ago, I saw Petterini. He looked out at his infield. He wanted either the second baseman or first baseman to go talk to his pitcher, Donatelli. First pitch was thrown for a strike. He then again signaled for him to go have a powwow. Didn't happen as Gaeta swings. It's a bouncer to second. Warga comes up, makes the play to retire the side. But the damage was done here in the 5th inning. Allegheny with 3 more runs. Cushion their lead to 7. It's Allegheny 7, Wooster nothing. Watching Allegheny College Baseball on CTV 13.
Today's game is brought to you by Mellon Bank. You're why we do our very best. WMGW 1490 AM, Crawford County's Sports Authority. Palmero Toyota. We love what you do for us, Allegheny. Perkins Family